and girls, babies in your diapers. Welcome to the Tiberius Show with your host, Tiberius Boy.
That's me, Tiberius. Today, we are going to talk about some very awesome stuff. We have a very cool video game to talk about, a great book about chalk, my bone score report, and we got a totally awesome guest, the one, the only, Lindsay Bettis. Lindsay is Miss Orlando 2019, Miss Apaka 2018, Miss St. Augustine 2017, and Miss Daytona Beach 2016. Wow, that is a lot of cities.
Yeah, it is. Thank you so much for having me today, Tiberius. I'm super excited to be representing Orlando at the Miss Florida pageant this summer, since Orlando has been my home for the past 4 years.
Ooh, that's good. Today, we're going to start off with a video game of the week, and this is going to be a spooky one.
And now it's time for the video game of the week.
Today's video game is Ghost Simulator. So this is a game on the Roblox platform. That means it works on PC, Mac, and even your cell phone. Anywhere that Roblox will work, you can play this game. This game is also free. This game is made by Blocks by Games. They make a lot of simulator games. So you start off with a very old vacuum cleaner and you see a guy with an exclamation point over his head. That means he has a quest for you. When you talk to him, he will tell you to capture a few ghosts with the vacuum. After you do it, you can see the ectoplasm. Then you are told how to increase your backpack and get upgraded vacuums and earn pets. Now, pets can help you vacuum faster and gain more money when you sell your ectoplasm. I played this one a lot and I got my dad to try it. The quests are different from other simulator games, and they added large bosses who you had to attack to be safe. There are different biomes which you have to unlock by improving your antenna. This game is very popular and has been around for about 6 months. I give Ghost Simulator 9 out of 10 stars because I like the spooky ghosts and the bonus areas that gives you lots and lots and lots of gems. I really don't like it if you are not supposed to be in a biome that is all dark and you cannot get to see around. I really enjoyed playing the game with my dad and defeating the bosses. Oh, and I got my mom to try it, and she gave it 2 thumbs up. See David Smith Law.com.
You can call him at 407-801-2667.
Wait, you are not Chuck.
My dad can help when people get hurt. He loves to help people.
If you are ever injured at work or in a car accident, you should call my friend Chuck.
You can call him at 407-801-2667.
The website again is cwsmithlaw.com.
Offices, Orlando.
Does it actually have that much W's?
Over 40 years, Lighthouse Central Florida has provided education, independent life skills, and job training to thousands of Central Floridians who live with blindness or any degree of vision loss. Whether it's picking out clothes in the morning or just moving around your community and serving Orange, Seminole, and Osceola counties, contact Lighthouse Central Florida at 407-898-2483 or visit them online at lighthousecfl.org.
And now we're all ready for the book of the week.
Ameila Bedeila chucks one up. This book is written by Herman Parrish, so let me read you the back of the book. In fact, Lindsay, would you want to do the honor?
I'd love to. Ameila Bedeila's mother is feeling blue, so she decides to head to town for lunch and a little shopping. Ameila Bedeila is having a play date of her own, and she decides to make her mom feel better. How? By covering the driveway, house, and garage full with colorful chalk pictures. Ameila Bedeila and her friends draw everything from her mom loves best, including flowers, shops, and a happy portrait. The result? Well, chalk one up for Ameila Bedeila. Those beautiful chalk pictures are a gift Ameila Bedeila's mother will never, ever forget. Ameila Bedeila discovers that a little kindness can go a long way in this funny and easy-to-read book that is just right for beginning readers.
So first off, this is an AR book. I am on my last quarter and almost done with my AR goal. This book is worth 0.5 points or half a point. This This book is a part of a series called the Ameila Bedeila Book series for beginning readers. It is designed to have good stories and use words to help new readers get better at reading and understanding the story. So the story is about Ameila and her mom. She was very blue, which means sad. Ameila suggested she have a play date, so her mom called a few people and went to town to go shopping with friends. Ameila decided to help her mom not be blue anymore. She got some chalk and started drawing on the driveway. Then one of her friends joined her and started to draw flowers on the house. Then another friend came by and drew a map, then added buildings. And then they drew a red carpet and led it to a super surprise. All her friends came and helped, and the surprise was very cool. When her mom came over, she was very happy to see that everyone wanted to color the place with everything but blue. And she really liked the cool surprise. If you want to know what it is, have to read the book. I give Ameila Bedeila Chuck Spoon Up 9 out of 10 stars because it is a great story and the ending surprise was pretty cool. I think everyone that is in 2nd grade should read this book because it will help you for your AR goal and give you ideas on what to draw when you use your chalk in your driveway.
Now, I used to get a lot of AR points. Do you get a lot of points?
Oh, yeah.
So one of the biggest prizes at my school is if you got a certain amount of points, you got to be principal for a day. What kind of stuff do you buy with your AR points?
So mostly I got prizes. I got erasers, candy.
That's
mostly
awesome.
all I got.
Yeah. It's really cool. Keep it up.
The Tiberius Show would like to thank one of our awesome sponsors, SlutChannelUS.com. These guys are very, very cool. They bring 21st century surface drainage solutions to reality. They can do corporate and government work. These are the guys that make roads and bridges safe in the rain. You can see all about them at SlutChannelUS.com. That website again is SlutChannelUS.com. The Tiberius Show would like to thank one of our dedicated sponsors, Custom Designs Orlando. These guys are on Mills Avenue and do all sorts of stuff, ranging from photo ID badges, engraved signs, custom Braille ADA signs, vinyl lettering, to trophies and awards. They can ship products all over the United States. You can reach them at 407-898-0373.
And now it's time for our interview of an interesting person. Today's guests are going to be so much fun. Today we have the one, the only, the amazing Lindsay Bettis. So Lindsay does a lot of things, along with going to school and competing in the Miss America competition. So you also dance and currently holds the title of Miss Orlando.
I am. So I do dance. I was on the University of Central Florida dance team for all 4 years, and I am very excited that I was a part of that team, but now I'm officially done with the dance team since I did my 4 years of eligibility.
Wow. So first off, how are you enjoying being on the show?
I'm loving it. You're a very exciting host. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, thanks. So what is the best part about being on Miss Orlando?
So I think the best part about being Miss Orlando is the really cool people that I get to meet like you. The other day, actually, I got to have dinner with the Japanese ambassador in downtown Orlando, which was a really cool experience. So I get to meet all sorts of people from all types of different backgrounds.
Okay, so what is being Miss Orlando, and how does one have to get the title?
So I won Miss Orlando back in January, and there are local competitions all over the state, and there are different phases of the competition. So the first part is we do an interview, and then next we do talent, an onstage question, and then we do evening gown. Yeah.
Okay. So is it like a contest?
It is. There are many contestants competing, and then they pick the person with the highest score.
Okay. So how do you win it?
So whoever gets the most points out of all those areas of competition, when they add up, they'll see who has the highest number of points, and then that's the winner.
Okay. So in this competition, you have a platform. Can you tell me about it?
Yeah, so my platform is the Best Buddies organization, which what I do with that is I promote inclusion and integration through this organization. And the most important thing that I do is I'm friends to people that have intellectual and developmental disabilities. And this happened because in 4th grade, there was a person with special needs in my class. And I felt very secluded and left out of a lot of things. And I noticed that when he joined the class, he had a similar feeling. So I wanted to be his friend because I think that everyone deserves a friend.
Okay. Why did you select this platform over other options like vets or blind people?
Yeah, because of that experience I had in 4th grade. And myself, I have obsessive compulsive disorder, which means that I scrutinize a lot of things. And so I often was left out of a lot of activities at school. So I didn't have very many friends growing up. And I found that through Best Buddies, I could always have friends and be a friend for someone else.
So it's the best part about Best Buddies?
I think the best part about Best Buddies is that you'll always have a friend. And I've been in Best Buddies since my freshman year of high school. So the total time I've been in it is about 8 years. And I've made so many friends through the organization. And this year in college, I was actually paired with her since my freshman year of college to my senior year of college. And we actually got to take a class together this year, which was really, really cool.
Ooh, wow. So how does it work?
Yeah, so you can go to your local Best Buddies chapter and just pretty much ask to join. There is an application, and pretty much anyone is eligible. You could be a Best Buddy one day. I think it starts in middle school, so that could be something in your future.
Okay. So what was the first job you ever had?
The first job I ever had, we're talking paying jobs, was a dog walker in my neighborhood. That's pretty exciting, right?
Mm-hmm. Was there anything you learned from that job that helped you be a better pageant winner?
I think just time management. I had to go over and pet the dog and walk the dog at certain times, which sounds very small, but at a young age, it was a big deal for me.
So when you were a kid, what did you want to do when you grew up? Did you always know you were going to be a pageant winner?
Absolutely not. I wanted to be everything from a doctor to an astronaut to where I am now working at a behavioral health care company. So you really never know what you're going to do, but you seem to have a pretty clear idea of the future.
Yes,
So I'm excited for you. But yeah, I did my first pageant when I was 10. But then from there, I didn't do it again until college. So I definitely didn't think this was going to be in my future. I always knew about Miss Florida and Miss America, but it was more of a dream than a reality.
Okay. So I see you are Miss Apopka and Miss St. Augustine and Daytona Beach as well. So why do you move from city to city?
Yeah, that's a good question. So actually my first title ever was Daytona Beach. And that's because I was going to college in Orlando and my hometown was in St. Augustine. So I thought that was a good middle point where I could represent a city that was in the middle of both of those. And then St. Augustine is my hometown. That's where I go home for holidays and everything and to see my parents. And Apopka was a good title for me because it was in the Central Florida area. But I feel like finally I get to represent the city of Orlando where I actually reside, and I'm super excited.
Mm-hmm. So do you plan to keep going and be Miss Universe?
So this is a common question that I get, but actually there's two different organizations. There's the Miss USA organization and the Miss America organization. So the difference between the two is that the Miss America organization is a scholarship-based competition, and so we actually only go to Miss America and that's it. But the Miss USA competition would be the one to go on to Miss Universe. So if I do win Miss America, that'll be it, but it's a huge deal.
Okay. So of all the different jobs you do, which is the best?
The best job is the one that I have now, and I work at Advanced Recovery Systems as a business development and marketing intern. And it's really awesome because I get to help people that are struggling.
Okay. So if my listeners wanted to grow up being a Miss Orlando, what advice would you give them?
I would say just go for it. When I was little, this is something that I never would have gone for because I was so shy. And I think that if I would have gone for more things when I was younger, I would have had more opportunities at my point of life that I am at now. But I'm really excited that I am Miss Orlando and I get to meet younger girls that possibly want to be Miss Orlando one day and tell them that early on so that they don't hold back.
So when I didn't have my radio show, I was so shy. But now when I heard The Greatest Showman, I'm like, they're not shy at all. And then when I started the radio show right now, I wasn't being shy anymore.
Yeah, I would have never guessed you were ever shy.
So my teacher says that I will use math every day. Do you use math when you were at work?
Yes, and I know it can be agonizing to go to math class every single day and learn your times tables, but you definitely will use it every single day of your life.
How?
So I use math a lot when I'm organizing data at work, which is a lot of numbers. And sometimes I'll have to add certain things up and multiply it when I'm making orders. And there's just a bunch of small things you have to do that requires a lot of math.
Okay. What is the biggest mistake you've ever made? And how did it change you as a person?
I think the biggest mistake I ever made was similar to what I said before. I was so shy, and I wish I hadn't been because there are a lot of opportunities that I missed from being shy. Like, I'm glad that you overcame being shy and having your own radio show because maybe you would have missed this great opportunity. So, I'm really happy for you.
So when you are not working, what do you do for fun?
So I do work 40 hours a week. So finding time to do fun things can be very difficult.
Yeah.
But I grew up in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. So I love going to the beach whenever I have free time.
Okay. So what else do you do for fun?
I really like dancing. Like I mentioned, I was on the dance team for 4 years, and while that was kind of a job in itself, I do like going to dance classes whenever I can so that I can really enjoy dancing rather than it being a structured team thing.
Okay. So do you play video games? What's your favorite one?
Alright, so my favorite video game is Mario Kart. Are you good at Mario Kart?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. I'm okay. I'm on and off.
Okay.
But sometimes I get that first place trophy. We're gonna have to play each other.
Ooh. Okay, so what is your favorite book?
My favorite book. I'm trying to think. I think that my favorite book is... I'm blanking on the name of it right now. It's called Divergent. That's what it's called. Divergent. Have you ever read that?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
But I have seen the movie.
Yeah, it's really, really good. And before the movie ever came out, it was one of my summer reading books. So I got to read that for school, and it's really nice because sometimes schools don't give you the most interesting summer reading books. But as from the movie, you could probably tell that it was a really interesting book, so I really enjoyed it.
I can tell. Okay. Now, can you tell me that one story? Well, remember, this is a kid's show, but the one story that you're not supposed to tell me about. Come on.
All right. So this is, have you ever heard of promposals? No? Okay, so when you're in high school, you're going to ask a girl to prom, okay? And maybe you're going to do it in a big, extravagant way, or maybe not. You may keep it simple after you hear this story. But in high school, I had the boy that was asking me to prom. He blindfolded me at the beach and was guiding me somewhere. So he was guiding me somewhere to where he had prom spelt out in candles, where he was going to ask me to prom. But when we were walking there, he was guiding me because I was blindfolded. We were walking there, and he neglected to tell me that there was a flight of stairs. I fell down the flight of stairs when being asked to prom. So, by the time he asked me, I was all bruised up, and I'd just fallen down a flight of stairs. So that's a pretty embarrassing story, if I say so myself.
Did you say yes?
I did say yes. Yes, we did go to prom together.
Okay. So, is there anything I should think my listeners should know about you?
Yeah, well, as Miss Orlando, I mentioned that it is a scholarship competition. And so, with college being in your future, I'm sure one day, I was able to get about $16,000 in scholarship to use towards my time at UCF. So I think that's really amazing that I'm going to be able to graduate college this summer debt-free, which is a really big deal. So I hope that you're able to get those scholarships in the future too. So keep working at it.
Thanks. Do you have a website or Facebook for my listeners that want to follow you?
So I do have an Instagram, and it's Miss Orlando 2019.
Okay,
And I
Daddy.
would love for you to follow.
Okay, Daddy, if you can get Instagram on my phone, I'll follow you.
Awesome, I can't wait. And then we do have a Facebook page. It's the Miss Orlando Scholarship Pageant.
Okay, I'll do
Yes.
that too. Is there any questions that I didn't ask you that you want me to ask?
Well, I get asked this in my pageant interview a lot, and I thought maybe your listeners would like to hear it. But an interesting fact about me is that I can sing the 50 states in alphabetical order in 15 seconds. So do you want to hear it?
Yes.
All right. Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, Washington, West Virginia, Wisconsin, Wyoming.
Wow. Wow, that was fast.
I couldn't leave without doing that today.
So why did you clap when you got to Nevada?
So when the song goes slower, there's a certain melody to it. But when I'm going at that speed, there's not much. But there's a break in the song where you are supposed to clap. And I learned that in elementary school, so I always stay with me just to remember the melody of it.
Wow. Thank you so much, Lindsay, for being my special guest. Can you stick around for Math Corners?
I would love to.
Mid-State Fire has been providing top-quality fire equipment services for 3 generations to the Central Florida area. Don't wait for an emergency to repair. Call Mid-State Fire today at 407-246-8855. Get your fire extinguishers and emergency lighting for both your home and businesses by visiting www.midstatefire.com. That number again is 407-246-8855. The Tiberius Show would like to thank Boggy Creek Airboat Adventures for being one of our sponsors. I got to go on an airboat and saw a real gator. I even got to go to the gem mine and mine for some gems. We ate a steak dinner at the restaurant and even got some gator bites. If you want to have a blast with the entire family, I suggest you go to www.bcairboats.com right now. Get your tickets today. The website again is bcairboats.com. Oak Ridge Gun Range is a family-oriented shooting range that has been in business for over 30 years. They specialize in basic firearm training and offer numerous services such as consignments, gun trades, gunsmithing, and concealed weapon classes. I even got my training for gun safety at Oak Ridge Gun Range. Great customer service, and firearm safety is what they do best. So find out more at oakridgegunrange.com.
Get ready, it's time for the Bowling Score Report.
You guessed it, I did not get to go bowling this week either, but I got to do the Fierce Entertainment Fest fashion show, and I was the co-host on stage. It was a lot of fun, and I also got to meet a lot of people, and they asked me for my autograph. I am getting good at sounding my name. It does take some time to listen and spell their name correctly. So my dad was there, and I got to interview a lot of cool people. But next week I should be able to go bowling again for the new season. So if you want to go bowling with me, be sure to join me at the New Summer League at Boardwalk Bowling Monday nights at 6:30 in the evening, bro.
Tiberius' favorite subject, it's Math Corners!
And now it's time for Math Corners. Thank you so much, Lindsay, for helping me with Math Corners. Today, we are going to talk about charts. So now we have talked about measuring in patterns and units. So now, when you put it all together, you get to make charts. So you use charts to record and store data in a way that is very readable. So first, when you make a chart, you have to have the unit of measure. This could be a count or a distance or a weight. So if I wanted to chart the heights of people, I would measure if it is 3 in inches. Now that you have the unit of measure, you have to list the things that are being charted. So in our example, we list people. So we have our producer Pierre and Mr. Evander next to me, my dad, and me. So next you have values. Values are what are being charted. So if you are charting the height of people, I would be the first because I am the shortest. And you would mark the number of my height. So you would do that for everyone in the list. Then you would either draw circles or stars or bars to show that value visually. And for the chart that we were just saying, I would be first. I would say Pierre would be second, and then my dad would be third, and Mr. Orlando would be first. The fourth. Because you're like tall.
Yeah, I'm pretty tall.
Now, if you are going to read the chart, you would look on one side to see what it is being charted. No, you might even see a title at the top. Then you'll look at the values and sort in an order that works for you. Now you can compare those values and use them in equations or make large word problems with them. So Lindsay, do you now know all about how to make and read charts?
I do. I've had to make a lot of charts in my life, and I've used them a lot for work. But I do use math a lot specifically for dance. So everything we do in dance is counted in counts of 8. So we have to do a certain move on a certain count. So that's one way that I use math in my everyday life.
Okay. Thank you so much, Lindsay, for your help with math corn.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.
And now it's time for Heart of a Lion. We, the Tiberius Show, like living with the heart of a lion. Living with the heart of a lion stands for leadership, integrity, obedience, and nobility. We asked Dr. Ferret exactly what that means.
Leadership is really about influence. Leadership is, and the way we define it is good leadership, is about setting the right example and encouraging other people to do the right thing. Integrity is about doing right no matter what. Through life, there are a lot of different circumstances that arise, and integrity, someone who shows integrity, it doesn't matter what all the external things are, they always choose to do what is right. Obedience is about obeying those who are in authority over you, whether that's a teacher, a boss, a parent, that when you are asked to do something, that you respond with obedience, quickly and completely. Nobility is about having respect. It's about carrying yourself with respect and showing respect to others. When you put these 4 things together, that's Lion Strong.
This week we're going to talk about obedience. For me, I think obedience is being fully committed to doing what is pleasing to God. The qualities of obedience are compliance with a good attitude and respect for the laws. You know when someone is obedient when they follow instructions willingly and thoroughly. I'm working on being better at being obedient to my parents. This week we were doing a trade show with lots of people around. I listened to my mom and I worked very hard not to go too far away from my dad and Pierre, so they can see that I am very safe, but still meet all of my fans and do interviews. A few times that I noticed that I could not see Pierre and my dad, and that meant I needed to get closer to the tables of where they were. I really don't want them to worry about me, and I know if I am obedient with staying close, and that I will get to do more events and will be trusted with more responsibility. So Lindsay, do you see or use obedience at all this week?
Yeah, so it's really important to be obedient at work. So I have to follow a lot of rules and comply with a lot of deadlines.
Of course.
So I do have to be very obedient at work to make sure that I get all my work done and that my boss trusts me, just like your parents.
What happens if you're not?
If you're not obedient, bad things can happen, as I'm sure you know. I'm sure you've been yelled at maybe a few times.
Yes.
So for me, having a job, being disobedient could mean ultimately maybe being fired. And we don't want that, do we?
No.
Yeah, so we have to stay obedient.
Above the heart of a lion virtues, which is your favorite?
I would have to say leadership, because that's something that's really important to me. It took me a long time to develop that virtue because, as me and you both say, we were very shy growing up. So I wasn't a natural born leader, but I was able to learn those qualities.
Well, that's great. It's important to try and be lion strong in everything we do.
Absolutely.
And that's our show, folks. I want to thank the one and only Lindsay Bettis for being my special guest this week. It has been awesome talking with you today, and I can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you so much, Tiberius, for having me. And like we mentioned earlier, what's coming next is the Miss Florida pageant, so I'm really lucky to have the community in Orlando like you supporting me, and I hope that I can bring the Miss Florida crown home back to Orlando.
Yes! And be sure to listen to us next week on the Tiberius Show with your host, Tiberius Boy!
The Tiberius Show is not filmed in front of a live studio audience. Executive producer Joseph Boy. Production editor Pierre Laguerre. Green Room manager Danny Boy. Broadcast associate James Smith. And your program host, Tiberius Boy. The Tiberius Show is copyright 2018.